Sakeena Yacoobi, Afghan educator and activist.
Making a difference in your world.
In 1992, Afghan immigrant Sakeena Yacoobi had a comfortable life in the United States, teaching at a college. Then she visited Afghan refugee camps in Pakistan and met women and girls who did not even have the freedom to walk outside the family compound.
Women were sick, women were exhausted, women were depressed, they didn't have education, and they were all cooped up in a camp area inside the tent. And when I went and I visited them, I really felt that this is the area that I really want to work.
Yacoobi founded the Afghan Institute of Learning soon after, working in the refugee camps at first, and then inside Afghanistan. In the 7 years since the Taliban was ousted, the Institute has supported 150 grassroots learning and health centers across the country, as shown in videos by Brett Williams of Direct Relief International and the UN Population Fund. In schoolrooms and clinics, teachers and doctors are trained, women learn job skills, and children are taught to read and write. And basic health services are no longer out of reach for some women and children.
In Afghanistan, the women and children are suffering the most. While I was a child in Afghanistan, I saw the suffering of women of Afghanistan. Every woman who was going to deliver a baby, from 10 women, 5 of them died.
Yacoobi risked her own life in the 1990s when she set up underground homeschools after the Taliban banned girls' schooling. Today she faces the threat of terror by Taliban militants, like last year's acid attacks on schoolgirls. Yacoobi says that her organization stays out of the most dangerous provinces. It also works to preempt fundamentalist opposition by including men, for example, in workshops that discuss the Quran's teachings on women.
When we have a quotation from Quran, it says that men are equal, women are equal to men, and men and women are created by God equally. When have quotation from Quran that way, which religious leader could say anything? They are silent. They learn and they change.
Yacoobi's own father had no schooling, she says, but he wanted her to be educated and gave her freedom to choose her own path. She says she wants other Afghan women to have the same opportunities. In New York recently, Yacoobi was awarded the $250,000 Henry R. Kravis Prize in Leadership to be used in her work.
Every day I see the impact of education, and that's the force that keeps me going on. And with this award, I really believe that thousands and thousands of women will get to be a leader.
She headed back to her work in Afghanistan later that week, returning as well to the danger she rarely mentions. In recent attacks in Kandahar, a women's rights leader and the chief of female police were both assassinated by the Taliban. Sakeena Yacoobi is protected by bodyguards and long ago moved her family to the U.S. for their safety. Carolyn Weaver, VOA News, for Making a Difference in New York.